Welcome to my very first podcast episode. In this one, we cover a very broad spectrum of podcast topics, I guess you could call them. But in reality, it's just a friend talking to a friend about things that's been on each other's minds and just getting a lot of heavy-weighted topics off of our chest. And I hope you enjoy. For privacy reasons, I have blanked out moments where we use people's names and whatnot. But I hope you enjoy. If you do, let me know, and I'll very, very much so consider doing more of these. This was very fun to record, very fun to edit. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. Fagoma. Fish just bit and I got nothing.
Nice.
But words of advice, kind of realized today as well, looking back upon the way I was before and how I was like down bad, horrendous in a non-sexual way. Like, I was getting shitty grades. I had the mindset of a fucking kid that got beat by their parents, even though I didn't. And I just, like, I could imagine that it seemed like nothing was going to help me back then. And the one thing that stood out to me that I actually thought about today was the fact that you can rely, when it comes to like school and your emotions that nobody else has control over, you can only rely on yourself. And that is like the end of it. Like on something that nobody else can control besides you, nobody else is really going to be able to help.
Yeah.
And like, the reason I thought about that today is because we were doing a personality quiz or something like that. Not a personality quiz, we were doing a senior survey, and it was like, what is one of the most motivating things that anybody has told you? And I couldn't think of any, and I was just like, I can't think of any, but the thing that motivated me most in the time that I needed it most was the fact that realizing, yes, I have people to go to and talk to when I need like emotional stability and help, which is very nice, and I'm grateful to have that. But if I can't rely on myself, I can't rely on anybody.
Yeah.
I just got a fucking bowl on kind of like a side tangent that's relative to the topic. With the fact that, like, I don't even really know if it's a fact, but for me it seems like a fact. The fact that I can only rely on me in order to be able to rely on others. And not necessarily rely on others. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. It has meaning somewhere in it.
I had to be honest with you, Chief. I didn't really know what you were getting at. At first, I thought you were trying to tell me that I wasn't being self-reliant enough about my money problems. And I was just like, what? How? And then you were talking about being self-reliant in general, and I honestly didn't know where to go with that.
What I will say, and what I can think of, like, I can actually think about, is that a lot of the time, this this is gonna seem like a call out, and I guess in a way it is, but I don't mean it in a harmful way. But you say that a lot recently, a lot of times when you're like talking to somebody like on a serious topic, they don't seem interested in what you want to say and like your problems. They only seem like they only want to talk about their problems and whatnot. I don't know about other people because other people don't know you as good as me. But every now and then when you're talking about yourself, I will say you're most of the time you're spot on with it. You're good with it, but recently, like whenever you're talking about how you're in a emotional stump and shit like that, and like you're wanting to have a job and whatnot, a solution really doesn't mean anything. It doesn't seem like it means anything because like you offer a solution that would work for yourself, like not you. I would offer a solution that would work for myself, and then it seems like nothing ever happens. And that's just because my solution wouldn't work for you. And I feel like that could probably be majority of the reason that a lot of people don't really want to listen.
Possible.
They just want to talk.
I don't know. It just pisses me off on an unbeknownst level that I spend my time giving everybody the attention that they want and assistance. I've been trying to be very self-reliant when it comes to my thoughts. I don't want I don't want to go out into the world as an adult, especially someone who's about to possibly go to college, and not be able to solve my own problems in my head, my own thoughts and grievances. I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been working to solve my problems in my head myself. But when I come to people for assistance after providing them the same assistance, I expect somebody to fucking listen. Because it's kind of ridiculous to me that I give you all this time and attention. Not you specifically, I'm speaking metaphorically when I say you. But I give all this time and attention in special care, deserving of a person, because everybody needs that sometimes, and then you don't have the common decency to share the same shit. You gotta be too busy changing the shit, and it pisses me off to an unbeknownst level. I'm not gonna lie about it. I feel genuinely betrayed when that shit happens. Just because it's like, you asked me to give you this respect, but you can't be bothered to give me the same respect. It's like, why would I want that? It's terrible. I hate it. It feels like I'm in a constant relationship with when I'm talking to anyone, getting fucking beaten, battered all over again. It's just fucking stupid.
Yeah, I can get that side of it.
Like at that point it goes to, why would I even want to talk to anyone about my problems? But then I know that's bad because I revert back to what I made myself when I was dating, what I made myself when I had no friends. Which was a shitty person, shitty personality. I don't want to go back to that.
Yeah. I don't. I don't know. I think, like, obviously, once again, so, like, on a different note that I haven't touched on, that will tie into your topic, I have never, like, I was raised to be pretty much, like, I don't want to say self-reliant, but, like, I have never really, truly enjoyed socializing and stuff like that. Like, in kindergarten, apparently, like, I would just sit in the corner drawing by myself. I didn't want to talk to nobody. And, like, apparently I always had, like, a shitty face on as well. So, like, pretty much the way I go through high school now. Just with no friends. And, like, with that being said, since I have been young, I've always kind of had, like, the head on my shoulders that was like, I don't need anybody else. I don't want anybody else. And that led to some very interesting teenage years. Because that just got a million times worse. When in reality, I was doing, like, everything that proved I did need everyone else. But I thought I was like, nah, I'm doing this shit by myself. I'm making adult decisions. But I wasn't, like, accepting the responsibility of a adult. So with that being said, though, like, the advice that I could offer you when it comes to people seemingly not wanting to hear what you're talking about is the only thing that I would know to tell you would be to do what I do. Like, obviously, if we really sat down and we talked about it, we could come to a conclusion that would work for you. But that would be like writing shit out on paper and pros and cons type shit. Like, that would take a while. But from my standpoint, the only thing that I can offer you really right now is the fact that I don't have that problem, because when people make me upset, I stop talking to them. And I regret it later. Because I'm like, no, they were good people. I should give them another chance. And I give them another chance, and then I regret it again. And I give them another chance, and then I regret it again.
It's like, but if I follow that philosophy, it's a constant life of disappointment, no matter where I go, because no one is going to meet my constant expectations. I'm going to have disagreements with people, and people aren't going to want to listen to what I have to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's just been pissing me off that it's the overwhelming majority of people that I know and currently talk to doing that.
So is it something that you would want a attempted solution for, or do you know, like, what you're gonna do about it already?
Just gonna address it when it comes up and say, hey, it's not fucking cool. If they don't like that, then maybe we shouldn't be friends anymore. But otherwise, I feel like a lot of people will get the message.
And I think it's also important to address the fact that when I talk to somebody, I don't realize it, but when they try to talk about, like, or when I try to talk about a situation that I'm going through, pretty much exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Just in my boots, typically I could give two fucks really about, yeah. When shit like that happens to me, I don't care. That sounds like kind of shitty to say when it comes to like personal health, but like I don't know how to explain it because I don't really observe myself too much. But like if you ever seen like a text or something where I'm like, yeah, I had a shitty day. I'll give you the perfect example here with when she was having that like breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
She was getting upset about that cat. I was like, yeah, man, I feel ya. I've been upset as well lately. She was just like, she didn't even reply.
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
was ridiculous to me. I thought it was a fucking anime betrayal,
mm-hmm.
like to mark history.
I just, I just dusted that off the shoulder as she was like, I don't want to give her that excuse because that's not even fair to myself. But in such a way that she would do that to her most valued human. She would do that to like, if she had a good relationship with her parents, she'd do that to her parents. Like that's just the way she is. She
Yeah,
ghosts people all the time because she fucking forgets.
is a brilliant mind.
She quote unquote forgets, I should say. Allegedly forgets. But like
When you a leg.
I pretty much my head philosophy about that whole situation is friends will be friends, and if they're people that I don't want to be friends with, eventually I will stop being friends with them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of lazy now that I think about it, but when I think about like a relationship or something, I think I don't have to go out and talk to anybody. My soulmate will find me eventually.
I've been kind of following that philosophy as recent as well.
And that's ultimately making me a crazy introvert. Like, introverted to a crazy level.
I have my own separate opinion on that, but I can wait till you're done. I just wanted to state it now, or else I would forget to say it later. I have to take my headset off though because it's dying and I have to plug it in. So I'll
Okay.
be back in a hot second. Should be good now. It's fucking cold.
But yeah, that's pretty much like the majority of what I wanted to state.
No. I definitely feel like that is a difficult situation overall with the becoming mentally lazy,
Mm-hmm.
but um, I don't feel like you should call yourself lazy with the whole soulmate thing, because like I don't know if you're down bad for a relationship still, because we haven't like talked about it at all.
It's like when I think about it, I'm like, this would be really, really good. But luckily, I don't think about it too much.
Yeah. When it's I have the same situation going on, so then I feel like our situation is a little bit comparable then, because the way I think about it at this point is, yes, I feel like someone will come to me, but at the same time, I don't feel lazy for it. Mostly just because it's like we're a special kind of people, not calling us like retarded or ugly or something.
Oh.
That's not what I'm saying. I just mean we're very different from most people. So I
You.
feel like it takes a different kind of person to have to get used to us or get to know us. So I feel like when that someone gets to know us, then it'll become a reality.
Mm-hmm.
So I try not to worry about it too much when it comes to that. Is like, is it lazy? And I also notice, like, when it comes to relationships, we both tend to change ourselves a bit. Me more heavily than you, but for you, it's still a little present.
Mm-hmm.
We try to make ourselves better suited toward another. And
Yeah.
I feel like it damages us. And like me exclusively, I've personally been feeling like whenever I have went after something like that and just chased it, it's damaged me because I changed my who I am. I don't feel like I'm the same person anymore. I feel like I've tried to morph myself into a being that's more likable, and I don't like that because I want to like who I am now.
Yeah.
I, it's it's really a double-edged sword. I feel like you could call it lazy because we're not really searching for it, even though we want it. But I also feel like it's admirable for us to stay who we are. Uh, because I don't want to look back at myself and think, wow, I really changed just to get with this person.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm not saying I'm the world's greatest person, even. I'm just saying I much prefer the reality of me being the way I am now over forming my personality to fit another. Because then at that point, I'm not really the lover, I'm the robot.
Mm-hmm. Um. Yeah. I I get that, and another little additive for that would be the fact that the women that we kind of want to look for, like, personally, I would not like my significant other to be the type of, like, stereotypical female where she's like, I cannot talk to the man first, they have to talk to me first.
Yeah, that's
That,
bullshit. I hate it because every relationship that's ever been like that that I've been in has been absolutely atrocious and god awful. Which is a
yeah,
really hard side tangent, and I'm sorry, but I had to say it immediately, or else I would have never said it.
yeah, and this is not to mention the fact that that immediately shows you that this person is reliant on other, like, people. They can't make decisions for themselves,
Yeah.
pretty much. But also a female that is so openly, like, available to just randomly talking to you, that could be a bad thing because that could also mean she's got a lot of experience doing it. But that's kind of apparent in the person typically.
That's true. I don't know.
It's an interesting topic.